Welcome back, friends, to our final video in this week-long series of videos on your questions. And please do comment below. I would love to hear if you've enjoyed these videos, this video series, and if you want to do another one like it or not. And feel free to keep writing in questions because I love hearing from you. And as always, I forgot to say this every other day this week, but if you haven't already and you want to, feel free to hit subscribe to see more videos like this. And lastly, what is your writing technique? I've had it in mind that I want to write a book someday, and I want to know how you sat down and wrote yours. That's a great question that I also have a blog about, and you can also check that out in the description box below. But that's really cool you want to write a book. I'm so excited for you. Are there any other writers here, like people who really want to write a book? And what do you want to write it about? My first book was actually very natural to write. It just kind of came out of me. It just happened. And then my second book was a lot harder. And so for my second book, I had to actually learn some disciplines of writing. So I sat down and I scheduled out time every day that I would write. So the mornings are my creative time and my brain just works better in the mornings. And so I schedule out 3 hours every morning that is in my planner. That is my writing time every morning. And some days you get some good stuff and some days you don't. But a lot of days, more often than not, I'd find that I would not be inspired at first, but as I started going, I would get inspired. So that was a big thing. I also did have a tentative outline for my book. Like I always personally just want to start with the intro and I want to have some kind of outline in mind for like how I want to lay out the book before I start writing. And some days I stick to that outline and some days I just write random parts, but I like to have that structure in mind because I'm a very structure heavy person. So, and then I would just start writing it and filling it in. And then as I got to the end, I took a break for a while, like just a couple weeks, so I could come back to it with fresh eyes and kind of read it as if it wasn't my writing, because then I could hear inconsistencies. I also had my husband, boyfriend at the time, read it out loud to me, which was so kind of him. And then I could hear how somebody else was reading the sentences and hear the sentences that just didn't make sense or were hard to understand. And then after that, I went through it again, made more edits, and then gave it to a focus group of girls. So they were girls in my target audience, and they read it and left me comments on it, and that was super helpful. I did that with both my books. And then lastly, I sent it to my editor. So that was kind of my process. And I also have a blog on how I self-published it because both of my books are self-published, which has been, I didn't know if I'd want to do it that way at first, but I'm really glad I did. So I have a blog all about that too. Also linked below. So I think that's all for today. There's a bunch of you which I have actually written in about how do I know if I should do this career or go to school in the fall, stuff like that. So next week, I'm gonna do a video about how to know what God's will is for your life. And I mean, not that there's like a specific answer, but things that have helped me. So we'll be doing that next week. And thank you all so much. I love hearing your comments, and do comment below in this video as well and let me know like anything you'd add to the conversation because I love hearing from you. And super exciting, pretty soon I've been working on the Europe vlogs, my vlogs of our trip to Europe, and I'm like halfway done with them. So hopefully in the next couple weeks you'll have a whole week full of vlogs from our different adventures, and they're turning out so good. I'm like obsessed with them, so yay. Okay, love you. Bye.